Morning, traders. How we doing? Getting ready for a week of trading. Get myself set up. Get my push-ups in, my stretches. Let's get into it. So, looking at our monthly. Oh yeah, and it's a U.S. election this week, so it's going to be nuts. Uh, I'm really probably just observing. Maybe a little bit today. Tomorrow, I'm not going to touch it. It's just going to be too. It's just too tight. But we all trade our own things. So maybe you have a system that you use during the presidential election every 4 years. You just are the type of trader you can just nail it. And I'd love to talk to you about that strategy because there is one there, but I have no idea what it is. So getting our day started. Looking at the 60-minute, price is still up. It's come down to a shelf. Hasn't really broken that shelf. I was looking over here as I was getting ready. I was like, is there a shelf over here that washed? Because the thing is it's all shelves and wash and retests. Maybe if I come in here, maybe I don't know. It's a big chart. It's hard for me to see it, and I really just use this to kind of guide me. Is it going up? Is it going down? And it just continues to go up. So got that. But again, you guys, this is my point. This is not a top, right? That's not a top. So this will get blown through here somewhere. If this pulls back to here, stops here and goes, or maybe just pulls out here and does our little 3-step or 5-step setup, but that's not a top. Going to check over the over at Forex Factory to see what's going on in the news this week. We have today. There's some stuff going on for not us. Tuesday is election. You got a presidential election right there all day. So just chill out, don't trade. Wednesday will be interesting. Get back into it. Thursday, we've got pound. Unemployment claims are coming in 9:30 on Thursday. So that's, federal funds rate on Thursday. So there's stuff going down. It may be a good week to chill. Unemployment rate, all that stuff's going to happen. That's Canada. So just tight stops. If you have to go 2-to-1, 3-to-1, whatever you have to do to protect yourself, even not trade. That's a strategy that I use quite a bit to keep me out of trouble. So just looking forward. Remember, we're looking for a setup, right? Our impulse leg. Step 1. Step 2 is our shelf. Step 3 is our wash. Step 4 is our retest to the backside of that wash, which, this is the low here. And I'm just running through this really quick for you guys. And it makes this funky little thing down here, and pow, here comes back. Now this stuff I look at and I'm like, well, what happened here? Is this just like a finale of all this stuff? It landed in this kill zone over here. I got to keep my marketing going. Thank you to the subscribers that have signed up. So this is just a kill zone. Some people call it support resistance. I don't know. I get them confused. So my mentor came up with this term, and that's how I learned it. So now I'm watching, knowing what's going on with the 60-minute. I'm kind of watching to see if this will, continue up and out of here, or is it going to just pull back into this kill zone? Which way you going to go? And that's why we study this so much. That's why we play with it all the time, because we need to have a deeper understanding of what's going on. It's always changing. It's never the same. but it's very much the same. It's very much the same. So I'm just going to hang out here. I'm not eager to trade. I'm not eager to, I know I'm not going to get rich tomorrow. I'm not going to get poor. I'm just chilling out and I'm watching to see what happens. This bar is really interesting to me. It just means that that whoever has the book brought them up, dropped them off, and brought them down. And then, if you sold this here, you started to make money. Maybe this is what I did the other day. If you saw my recap, it's a nice little shelf, right? You got a 1, 2, 3, couple little pops. Price comes down, blows it out, goes for a reset. No, try, and then finally over here, it's kind of far. It's not the cleanest one we've ever seen. But remember, I took that one that was similar. I don't know if it's on this, if it's here or not. Maybe over here, I think it was. Yeah, it was like right here. And then I just, I'll sell that oftentimes because this is sellers. You always want to sell with sellers and buy with buyers. If you're stuck, don't know what to do, gotta trade. Sell with the people that are, sell with the sellers, buy with the buyers, right? Buyers are down here, buyers are down here, and sellers, oh, come on, right here, right? So these are the sellers, and these sellers, once they get busted, will become buyers. So tight stops, make sure you have a clean setup you can see. Even if you want to play in here, if you really got to get on it, you're just itching, you're like, Mike, God, I only have so much time. You can expand your time frame, go for a longer time frame, go to the 4-hour, or get close, get really personal, like you're gonna take it out to dinner and see the impulse up, makes the shelf, it washes the shelf, right? You have a wash right here. You have a retest of the high, and you have it there. So step 1, impulse. Step 2, shelf. Step 3, wash. Step 4, retest. I'll switch these out so you guys can see it. Boom, retest to the high, and then comes back down and enter, and you're like risk reward. Look at that within the bar. That's beautiful. That's my favorite trade right there. It just it doesn't have to go really far, to get to where it is, to where it needs to be, I should say. It doesn't have to go really far. You can gobble up these little trades along the way, and it's risky. I'm not saying it's, but it keeps you in alignment, right? If you're coming down here and you see this, let's say you see this here. Oh, let's start over. Let's say you see this here, and you don't have any of this here, right? Let's just use it. You don't have any of this here, right? You're like, okay, Mike, I'm gonna catch this little guy coming down here, right? You got this wash here, so you have this impulse coming down here. You've got pop, that's kind of a weird top, right? Just dropped him down really hard, so that's something to pay attention to. Okay, but let's go here, right? Let's say, Mike, I tried this, but it don't work. Right? You guys already see it, don't you? You already see it, right? Bingo, baby. Now, this is a preference, and we know what happens, so we can pretend. This is a preference. As price starts to drop down, bring your stop tighter. Bring your stop a little bit tighter. I do, and I will try to get these to run out but I'm also, if I'm here, I'm also at break even, or I can follow it down as it breaks the low. You're going to get a pullback as it breaks the low. That's how we know this setup works, because once it breaks here, it pulls back into something, right? Or just write it out. You say, okay, I'm living large. I want to see how this thing plays out. You're stuck, man. You're just, ugh. And I'm not saying this is, uh, obviously this wasn't work, but manage your trade appropriately, right? Condense your risk. Come right back here. Your target is down here. All you have to say is, here's where I'm going to be, right? It starts to go. You see this stuff, this action. Hey, maybe I'm just going to sit on the side of it and be like, what? I'm just going to take my piece. I just want a little chunk out of this thing. I don't want to lose one, put it in however you categorize that. I do the same thing. I'm not saying that every trade I stick to. There's trades that I do. Don't get me wrong. Context matters, right? We're at 11 o'clock in the morning. Doesn't always jive. But look at that. And then you can sit back and say, okay, well, what happened? And you say, okay, well, geez, let me try it. Now that I know the answer, what did I get wrong, right? What did I get wrong? I've got this here. I've got this here. Look at that. There's a beautiful, that's so big. And this goes back to what we just did. And it still is in play, right? We don't know the answer to that. But you're selling with sellers, you're buying with buyers. That's what you have to do. All right, guys, I'll talk to you in a bit.